Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to my channel. My name is Joanna. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much for coming by. I hope you stay. I hope you find something interesting, something worthwhile while you are here visiting. If you do, I would love for you to click the like button, to subscribe, or to click the notification little bell that will tell you when new content is uploaded, and it's usually at least once a week. If you are new to my channel, my intention is always to help you know yourself better, to help you understand yourself from a much deeper perspective. And with that comes the benefit of experiencing life more to the fullest, because the more you know yourself, the more chances you will perceive for you, the more opportunities will be perceived by you. Not that the opportunities were not there before, but perhaps you were not able to see them based on your perception. So that is my aim, that is my intention for you, to literally love yourself more, to understand yourself more, to help you be more empowered. And this is what I do. That's what I do for a living. So if you are into this sort of thing, if you want to feel more empowered, if you want to live your life more to the fullest, then I hope you stay and I hope you enjoy what you hear. If you wouldn't mind sharing this with a friend or two that you feel would benefit from this information, I would be very, very grateful. It helps to grow this channel, and at the end of the day, the more people learn about themselves, the more individuals get to know themselves better, the higher chances are that we all become much more empowered. And as a result of that, we create a better world. And who doesn't want that, right? For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I will always say this: without you, I would not do this. And I absolutely love what I do. When I channel, when I connect to higher frequencies, it is truly when I feel at home. And I never want it to end. So I have the best job in the world, if I can call it a job. I just noticed the card on the bottom here. Today's messages are coming on the heels of a very powerful solar eclipse in Taurus. I am recording this on April 30th, right after a very powerful breathwork ceremony that we had in the morning. And usually I record on Fridays, but for some reason, it didn't work out on Friday, and I am recording this on Saturday. So this is the day of the solar eclipse. Like I mentioned, it is in Taurus, and this eclipse in Taurus is all about self-worth, value, boundaries, and giving and receiving. So I will be focusing on helping you see what is in store for you as a result of this powerful eclipse. I will go through 3 piles, but before I do that, I want to share with you some useful information. For those of you who are new to my channel, I have developed transformational tools that are absolutely free to you at no charge. And they are meant to literally help you transform your life into something much greater, into something much better. And if you are into that sort of thing, all you have to do is just click on the button down below on the link, and you will be taken to a site, and you will have instant access to channeled material, including a workshop or a masterclass that we did a week ago regarding how to connect with your guides and your own inner guidance. So I would love for you to try it out. Again, it doesn't cost you a penny. It's a worthwhile investment, your time, of course, and there are powerful meditations there. They're all channeled, and I do hope that you find them helpful. And if you wouldn't mind just sharing with me how these are helpful, what these tools are helping you understand about yourself, I would be very grateful. It tells me that what I'm doing is working, and at the end of the day, if what I do is not working for you, if it cannot be put into 3D existence in practical ways, then it's just information. Information is only as good as when we put it into practice. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I am starting something new as a way of keeping up with you outside of YouTube, because YouTube changes all the time. And what I'm finding is that many people who are subscribers all of a sudden are not getting emails. So I want to have a closer relationship with you outside of YouTube channel. So what I am starting very shortly is a weekly message from the universe that will be in your inbox every Monday. That's the plan. And these messages will not be seen anywhere else other than in your inbox. So if you are wanting to connect with me that way, to see what comes up for you every week in terms of what the universe wants you to know, then all you have to do is just sign up on the link below. If you sign up for the transformational tools, you will already be signed up to my newsletter. If you don't want transformational tools, then you can just sign up for my newsletter. Again, that link is down below, or just simply visit joannathehealer.com and sign up, and you'll be good and ready to go. I have literally books and books of channeled material that I am going to start sharing with you. Some of this information that I wrote has been years ago, and usually when I channel it at the time of my channeling, most of it makes no sense to me. So what I'm finding now is that as I go back, there's a lot of information that is starting to make sense to me. I read it and I go, wow, this is now making so much sense. And I want to share that with you. And my channeled material is on a whole bunch of different topics, but the most important topic is essentially how to get to know ourselves and how to be more empowered. So if you want to connect with me every week through your inbox, I would love to have you. Again, joannathehealer.com, and all you have to do is just sign up, and we'll go from there. All right. Thank you for being here. We are all very busy. We all have a lot of things to do. We all have a lot of commitments. And there are many, many people, many channels vying for our attention, myself included. And sometimes it's hard to distinguish what is worthwhile listening to and what isn't. And essentially, whatever we get exposed to goes into our minds, into our bodies, and it affects how we feel. So thank you for choosing being here. My hope is, and my intention is, that this information is going to affect you in very empowering ways. And like I said, this is what I do for a living. My greatest joy, one of my greatest joys, aside from having my beautiful friends and family, is to see my clients, my members, individuals such as you, come out of their shadows, come out of their shells and hiding. There's literally nothing, pretty much almost nothing, that is more joyous to me than seeing that. So thank you for being here. You have many options, and somehow I have landed on your screen. So thank you for that. All right, speaking of the solar eclipse, here's what I was receiving. So this is going to be a general message. One of the things that came up or was shown to me was the rooster. And all of these things are obviously very symbolic. So I looked up what a rooster means. And first and foremost, when we see the rooster, the first thing we think about, mostly when we see the rooster, is we think about the early morning hours. Wake up, new beginning, a new day. So the symbology of a rooster tells us that new day is coming, something new, something fresh. We are beginning to wake up. So over the next little while, in particular, ongoing, but I want to say the next 3 to 4 months, many of you will experience moments in your life that you will qualify as waking up, as if you are waking up from the dream. What does that mean? The kind of waking up from the dream that I'm talking about is waking up to remembering who you are and when you come and where you come from. And I've had few of these moments, and they are very sobering and sometimes very scary, where literally it feels as if a layer is stripped off of me, exposing something that I was unaware of, and it's a big shock to the ego, essentially creating a bit of a ego death at the same time. So don't be surprised if over the next little while you begin to experience symptoms of waking up. What are some of those symptoms? Feeling disoriented, feeling like you are losing your mind or you've lost your mind. You're not losing your mind, by the way, although I should rephrase. You are losing your old mind. You are separating yourself from the old version of you, the version that you have always been used to, and the version of you that has been part of your foundation, part of your identity. So this waking up process, as my team calls it, is something that everyone will eventually go through. Everyone will go through it on their own perfect timing. Everyone's timing, if you will, is different. So I would urge you not to compare yourself to somebody else. But if you are having moments or symptoms of waking up where you are feeling confused, you tell yourself that you're delusional, it is a pretty good sign that something internally is happening on a profound level. I've had these moments, like I said, more than once. It is literally an act of us separating us from our old self. So if you felt that before, maybe write it down in the comments if you are going through it right now, and if you're wondering, am I going mad? Am I going crazy? Am I losing it? Chances are quite high you're not going crazy, but it does feel that way at times. So if you need someone to talk to, you can find me. There's many people who talk about this. It's important to find like-minded individuals, communities that are made up of like-minded individuals, because when we feel less alone, it makes the transition a lot easier. When we are supported by others who are going through the same thing or have gone through the same thing, it makes it a little bit easier. So this is what I'm seeing for the next little while, but especially in the next 3 to 4 months. So I don't know, astrologically speaking, what's happening over the next 3 to 4 months. I'm not an astrologer. So if you know what is happening over the next 3 to 4 months astrologically, do let me know in the comments. Also, these waking up moments seem to be much more pronounced around full moons. I have become very sensitive to energies. It makes sense. I mean, I work with very high frequencies, and for me to pick up on these frequencies, I have to be sensitive. But it's a double-edged sword. So if you are feeling particularly off around full moons or particular planetary movements, you're not alone. Chances are you're becoming quite sensitive, and that is a gift in and of itself, but it is a double-edged sword. So you might feel these sobering moments or these waking moments, like you are waking up quite prominently around full moons. Okay, so just take a bath, salt bath, do some rituals, little ceremonies, do a lot of clearing, Make sure you're grounded, well hydrated, meditate, because it does help to go through through this process. What else did I see here? Here's what I feel is going to happen for many of you, because it is happening with me. I've mentioned over the last couple of weeks that the energies have been feeling quite dense. Not bad per se, but dense, heavy. Not particularly pleasant, and I have been having a really hard time shaking it off. I've mentioned this before, but you might find this useful. For me personally, I've seen this before. Whenever I have these moments, whenever I feel this way, it is always a sign for me that I'm about to catapult forward, that I'm about to spring forward. So this morning on April 30th, I woke up and I was literally like buzzing. And I thought, oh, it's a new energy. I can feel it. And what I've observed over the last few days is that the way I perceive information is coming to me so much more easier, even though I'm feeling these heavier energies. And here's the most interesting part. Whenever I feel these heavier energies, I often feel like I'm disconnected. Now, we can never be really disconnected, because you cannot disconnect energy. Energy is always connected, so we can't be disconnected, but we often can feel like we are disconnected because we're not able to perceive as clearly. Well, what's happening with me, and I'm saying this about me because chances are you too will observe this about yourself, that even though I'm feeling kind of off and the energy is kind of heavy, I seem to perceive things very easily, but I'm not really aware of that until after the fact. And this is the interesting part. It feels like I'm working way less harder than I used to in order to connect with higher frequencies. And that in itself is almost a bit of confusing to me, because when I connect, I feel a certain way, and all of a sudden, I don't feel that anymore. There is this strange comfort with just having all this information around me, and it feels like I don't have to reach very far. It is coming to me so much easier. I actually feel more at ease, where my left brain goes, no, this should be harder. Thinking, right? So here's what I want to say to you. Start noticing the type of information that flows to you with so much more ease, whereas in the past, you would have worked extra hard to reach a certain state or to reach this certain information, this guidance. And when I talk about this information, it's basically connecting to all that is. Now, we are always connected to all that is. We are all part of the universe. We are all part of higher consciousness. We are all part of source. It's all within us. We're never disconnected, but our minds and our limitations and our beliefs and all these wonderful human 3D things make us believe that we are not connected, or we are not part of whatever. So notice, mark my words, things are going to seem, let me rephrase, things are going to start to flow into your life with a lot more ease, where you're going to surprise yourself by thinking, this should have been a lot harder. That's the brain, right? You know the saying, if you want to get something in life, you have to work extra hard. If you believe that you have to work extra hard in order to get somewhere in life, then you're going to have to work extra hard. Now, does that mean that everything comes easy? Of course not, but it all depends on what we believe. It all depends what we are attached to. I used to think that in order for me to reach these higher frequencies, to connect with spirit, to connect with all that is, source, somehow I had to do all these rituals. I had to over prepare myself. And I was very much too much in my head about it. And what I'm realizing right now, more and more over the last few days, is that I don't really have to do anything. I just have to be me. And it's a bit of a sobering moment because that's not what I'm used to. I'm not used to accessing all this information with so much ease. So my ego is puzzled. My ego is like, wait a second, this should be so much harder. You should be trying so much harder. Why is this so easy? So I would encourage you to just observe yourself and notice how much easier things are flowing into your life. Now, does that mean that all you're going to do is this and things are going to flow into you? No. First of all, if you're doing this, you're not open, right? You have to be open. So that's the first thing I want to mention. Over the next little while, you'll notice that things are coming to you with much more ease. Whatever it is, whether it is you accessing this higher information, whether you attracting a love relationship or a partner or opportunities, it's just going to come easier. Now, does that mean that it's going to happen to everybody? No, but if you are listening to this, then chances are quite high that you are going to experience this. Mark my words. Over the next few months, you are going to surprise yourself how easily things are coming to you, and all you have to do is ask for it and go about doing your business. There is a flow. There is this flow that's happening, and I, for one, am totally on board with that because things have been feeling particularly stagnant, and I'm sure many of you have experienced that as well. I speak with you every day in my one-on-one sessions, and I see your comments, so I know I'm not the only one. So that's something very exciting. The Taurus eclipse is, like I said, is all about self-worth, its value, its boundaries, and giving and receiving. So when it comes to giving and receiving, you're going to find that it's easier for you to give of yourself, and it's going to be easier for you to receive from others. There's this beautiful flow, and I'm seeing the infinity that has no beginning and no end. Things come and things go. Things come and things go, including with money. So if you've been having challenges with finances coming in, you might start noticing that it's a lot easier for you to attract abundance, financial abundance. And if you were a hoarder, for example, I don't know why I want to say this, but if you're a hoarder, and if you recognize that you like to hold on and keep to yourself and hoard, you might want to address this challenge within you, because hoarding stems from internal lack. There is something that is lacking within us, or we think is lacking within us, that we feel the need to hold on to for dear life. Life is meant to be about flow in and flow out, flow in and flow out. So particularly for those of you who have a tendency to hoard, just notice around your place, around your home. Do you have stuff in your home that you have not used for a while? If so, perhaps it's time to let it go. Perhaps it's time to donate this, whatever it is, to those who might find use from it, get use from it. Letting go of stuff that we no longer use clears our space, and it amplifies our energy. Because what we are saying by clearing, we are saying, universe, I'm ready to let go of what no longer serves me. I am making space and room to welcome something new, to welcome more into my life. We are also in spring. Next month is going to be May, and the next month is going to be summer. So we still have about a month and a half of spring. Good time to do some spring cleaning. So just notice if there's anything in your space, whether it's mental space, emotional space, or your physical space, where you are holding on to things for dear life, but whatever you are hoarding or holding on to is really of no use anymore. Okay? Is there anything else I want to say? Yes. Many of you will start to feel a lot more powerful. What do I mean that? A lot more empowered. Now, we all are already powerful beings. That goes without saying. However, we don't always feel powerful. In fact, if you are listening to this type of information, chances are that you've had challenges with feeling powerful, feeling empowered. But I'm not talking about the ego power. Whenever I talk about power, I never talk about the ego. Nothing wrong with the ego. Ego is beautiful. We get to experience 3D existence through our ego's eyes. There's nothing wrong with that. But ego that is unbalanced can create problems in our lives. So for example, people who hoard or hold on to things too much, too tightly, that's the ego. That's the ego holding on to something because it doesn't trust that there is going to be more, that if it lets go of whatever it's holding on to, that there is going to be more. Now, the universe has a vast supply of everything we would ever want. Yes, I know the logical mind doesn't see it that way. Obviously, you can look in environments and see a completely different story. So some of you may be saying, lady, you've lost your mind. I understand completely if that's the case, if that's what you say, but that is coming from a 3D perspective. I'm talking purely about higher perspective, coming from a much higher perspective. From the higher perspective, there is no lack in the world. There's no lack in the universe. It's, I feel like I could have a whole, seminar on this, so I'm not going to get into it, but my aim is always coming from a much higher perspective. So let's go through some piles. Let's see what is coming for you as a result of this eclipse, this beautiful Taurus solar eclipse. So let's see some areas that will be affected in your life personally. So, wow, interesting. So if you're drawn to pile number 1, I'm using these beautiful mermaid cards. There's a link down below if you're interested to see what cards I'm using. The first thing that came out for you, pile number 1, is the Tower. Don't be afraid of the Tower. The falling tower simply means the foundation upon which this tower was built is not strong enough or is no longer strong enough to sustain it. Therefore, whatever has been built on top of this foundation has to be dismantled in order for the foundation to strengthen and build something new. If you're drawn to pile number 1, expect changes. Tower doesn't mean it's a bad thing or it's a bad omen. As a matter of fact, I like towers. I know many people don't necessarily feel the same way. Tower to me simply signifies it's a time of clearing. Now remember, the rooster is all about announcing a brand new day. The Tower shows up to say, there is something new on the horizon, but in order for you to experience it, the old has to go. So you will experience, more likely than not, a tower in some aspect of your life. You may be shifting places in terms of your jobs. You may be shifting your relationships in your you may be shifting in terms of your relationships. You might be moving from one place to another, and this could be employment or home. You may experience taking high risks. Now, these high risks are calculated risks, and the higher the risk, often there's a higher payoff. Lower risk, lower payoff. Not always, but often I would say. So be prepared to take risks, calculated risks, but risks nonetheless. Also be prepared to take leap of faith, where you trust life to show you the way. You trust the universe to show you the path. And your entire path may not be visible to you right away. Your entire path will not be shown to you right away. Your path will be revealed to you step by step. So oftentimes you take one step and the next step will be revealed to you. You'll take that step and another step will be revealed to you. So you may not have a long-term version in front of you, but you will have this feeling inside you that's pushing you in a certain direction. It's important for you to trust that, okay? Now, what I'm drawn to is red here. Whenever we experience a tower moment, it often, I would say more often than not, can create instability in our first chakra, in our root chakra, in our survivability. So, I mean, as you can tell, this tower falling is not a pretty picture. But again, this is not to be feared. This is to be welcomed. And tower moments are often uncomfortable, but don't let the level of discomfort tell you that something bad is happening. The higher the level of discomfort generally denotes, the higher the, how do I say it? The more something new is about to enter into your life. So over the next few months, if you feel like there is something you needing to let go of, or something is being taken away from you, not someone, something, could be relationship, I guess, know that whatever it is, its purpose has been served, and there is something new and fresh just around the corner for you. Is there anything else that I want to say about this? Some of you are already expecting this to happen. Whatever the tower moment is for you in whatever area of life, some of you are already waiting, are expecting it to happen. It's just a matter of timing. So you already know that there's going to be some changes. You are already perceiving that there's going to be some changes. You might have been feeling that there are some changes that are about to come into your life. This is your confirmation. Again, it's nothing bad. I don't talk about bad things. Again, bad is a label. I mean, yes, there are bad things in the world, but that's not what I'm talking about. But I am talking about significant changes, and the kind of significant changes that can sometimes make us feel a little bit uncomfortable, okay? But don't let discomfort scare you or scare you away from something that's potentially really good down the road, okay? Also, however this tower appears in your life, through these tower moments, you will also experience a lot of healing. A lot of healing, okay? So these tower moments can be very interesting. They can bring about things that need to be addressed from underneath the surface so that we can take care of them and heal them and then move on to the next phase of our path. For some of you, you will have to release a certain relationship. This could be a relationship you have with a friend. This could be a matrimony type of relationship, a romantic relationship. This could be some sort of a commitment you have to someone or somebody or some organization, and you're going to be letting it go, or the universe is going to basically gently, maybe not so gently, say to you, the time has come where this is no longer serving you. Okay? Know that whatever is leaving you or will be leaving you is going to be replaced generally by something better. So this is also a great opportunity for you to do some inner healing and see what's coming up as a result of this tower moment. Okay? There's something I'm noticing on here. Whatever this tower moment represents for you in your life, I'm being asked to say that you are protected through this process. You have quite a bit of protection around you. Your guides and angels, spirit. For some of the spirit animals, if you're aware of them, there's a lot of help surrounding you and guiding you through this tower moment. Okay? I'm going to pull another card just to give me a little bit more information what this is for you. Ooh, okay, hang on 1 second. Oh, okay. The first thing that's coming up here is rejecting emotion. This tower moment is going to gently force you to look at your fears, to look at the emotions that you have been trying to hide away from. Remember, I said often during the tower moments, things will come up to the surface to be healed. If you're drawn to pile 1, you are likely someone who does not like to feel, who's rejecting emotions. And if that's the case, you will have a tendency to live in your head. Now, do you know where fear comes from? Fear comes from between the ears. Okay? If you are someone who rejects emotion, you will generally tend to be overly analytical and overly logical. Nothing wrong with logic, by the way, but you will have a tendency to be overly logical, overcompensating for something else. Okay? So if you're not used to feeling, the tower moment may ask you to feel. Okay? And as a result of this, you will have an epiphany. It's remarkable how many people don't want to feel, yet when they begin to feel, they realize so much more about who they are. Because feelings tell you what's going on. Feelings are also connected to your story. If you're not familiar with your story, then you are often going to be repeating a story, especially if it's a story that you don't want to repeat. So there is important message here for those of you who are not particularly good at feeling. Okay? Start getting comfortable with feeling a little bit more. The other message that came up is holographic healing. So this is all about healing your past. As you're going through your tower moment, whatever it may mean, and I've mentioned this before, you are going to experience a lot of things come up to the surface, and this is going to be your opportunity to heal those things so that you no longer have to drag them with you. So you don't have to drag them with you to your new space, your new place, your new beginning. Thank you. there's a lot of healing around the ego. So that's your solar plexus. For those of you who feel disempowered, who don't hold yourself in high regard, and again, I don't mean this, I mean truly holding yourself in high regard as a meaningful person. If you have a tendency to keep yourself small, to shy away from life, there is some healing going on or will be going on with you, okay? For some of you, this healing is going to occur as a result of someone else holding your hand and helping you go through this healing process. So we have the Tower, we have rejecting emotions, and we have holographic healing, okay? Perhaps the reason why this Tower is going to be transpiring in your life is because you've been neglecting how you feel, and by this Tower showing up, you're going to be forced to face your feelings, face your emotions, okay? And sometimes things are hard to face. There is no question about it. Facing your shadow, for example, can feel like a daunting task. It's not particularly comfortable. Of course, if you want help with that, if you want someone to hold your hand through the process, that's literally what I do for a living. But there's also other people who do that. I would highly encourage you to ask someone for help, to help you, to nudge you a little bit, and to help you move forward, to help you deal with whatever this is. And there's something beautiful at the end of this Tower for you. Something very, very beautiful. As a matter of fact, when I project myself over this hump, the feeling I get is you're coming home. It's somebody's welcoming you and you arrive. So on the other side of this Tower is you arriving. So I will let you come up for yourself what that may mean for you, what that metaphor may mean for you. Okay? So that is what I have for pile number 1. Pretty strong right off the bat. All right, let's look at pile number 2. What is this Taurus solar eclipse bringing into your life? What will be affected in your life by this solar eclipse? What I'm seeing you already for you, pile number 2, is you are in a decision mode. You are deciding, or you are about to decide something, and it is a direction. You're about to decide a direction that you need to take, want to take, should take. You may have been feeling directionless for a while. I know the feeling. I can understand how that feels, but it is not the case for you any longer, particularly the next 3 to 4 months. You will not feel directionless. You are going to be faced with needing to take a path, needing to choose a path, needing to choose. And what I want to say is this: don't run towards the old unless the old is something that is worth repeating. In other words, don't make one of your choices something that didn't work in your past. Because chances are, if it didn't work before, chances are quite high it's not going to work again. So this is about you stepping into something new and making a choice and decision for yourself that is a little bit out of your comfort zone. For some of you, this is going to involve work environment. You are stepping away from something that is known and stepping into something that is New, and because it's new, it's potentially very scary. But it's not scary because it's bad or because it's not going to work or because there is failure attached to it. No, it's scary because it's new and also because it represents something big, and you are not sure if you're up to the task. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Because it's shown to me, you're up to the task, but you may not be feeling it. So work with someone who will help you feel more encouraged. Have someone who will encourage you to move forward towards whatever that is. And of course, it is not about you being forced to do something. This is about you willingly wanting to pursue something that may feel outside of your comfort zone. In fact, it's going to feel outside of your comfort zone. Just because it's outside of your comfort zone does not mean it's not for you. In fact, the opposite is true. So that's obviously going to play out differently for different people. Let me see, too many cards. Let me see what area this may potentially, okay. Oh. We have the Knight of Wands. So this is a new endeavor. This is a new adventure. You are showing up in life and you are bare-chested. What does that mean? You are vulnerable. This is purely what I'm getting intuitively. I don't know if Knight of Wands is actually means that, but this is what I'm getting. The shield, which is meant to protect you, is not in front of you, it's to the side, which means you have means to protect yourself, but you're not shielding yourself anymore. So what I'm getting from this is that for many of you, you are entering a period of your life where there is new creative spark within you, and you are being creatively guided. I'm trying to see if the words creatively guided can be interpreted in some other way, but I almost don't want to mess with that. So however it lands in you, take it for how it lands in you. The biggest thing that I am being drawn to is this knight is bare-chested. He is vulnerable. But he stands there tall and proud, and he's not shying away. He's being seen. So for those of you who this resonates with, particularly in a new venture, likely career work oriented, it doesn't have to be that, but I hear creative spark. You are allowing yourself to be seen. And that's a big one for many of you. I have heard from a lot of you in the past and often through comments that you have always been afraid to be seen. Well, if you're listening to this, then chances are pretty high that you will let yourself be seen without shielding yourself. So your shield is on the side. You can protect yourself if you want to, but you're not over protecting yourself. You're not over shielding yourself. Okay? You are on your path for a reason, and I feel you very strongly stepping into a new path. This new path feels a lot more solid. It's solid. It's solid. It's uncomfortable because it's new, but it's solid. It's sturdy. It has longevity to it. It is sustainable. So this could be work, this could be relationship, this could be a new endeavor, this could be a new commitment, creative commitment, you commit to yourself. For some of you, this is literally you writing a book and expressing something out of yourself that you once feared talking about. This could be something about your life. This could be something, this could be about your beliefs. This could be something that you are receiving from higher consciousness up until this point. You were afraid to open up about it. Well, if this is you, if this is resonating with you, you are standing tall and proud, fully seen, vulnerable, but you have your shield if you need it, but you're not overprotecting yourself. And what I get from this is confidence. There's this newfound confidence. Now that's a Taurus trait here, by the way. Self-worth, all that. There's this newfound confidence, and you are feeling proud, and I'm getting tingling at the top of my head here. So as you're listening to this, if you're getting tingling anywhere in your body or specifically at the top of your head, then that's your confirmation that this is a sign for you. So if this is not making any sense to you when you're listening to it, wait 3 to 4 months and see what happens. By the end of the year, mark my words, you will know exactly what this is for you. Some of you, this may be just one person, this is connecting to Egypt. You either have connection to Egypt, you will be traveling to Egypt. I see pyramids, I see the Pyramid of Giza. You are investigating something with pyramids, scrolls, ancient wisdom. There is something with that. If that resonates with you, I would love for you to comment, because it's always fascinating for me to see what actually comes through, because I have no context, right? So very beautiful message. Let me pull another card. Now I'm going to pull Ganesha cards. Okay. Again, that link is down below if you're interested to see what cards I am using. What else can you show me for pile number 2? You are creating a new opportunity for yourself. You are opening a door, which is an opportunity for me. It means opportunity, but you are the one putting in the key, and you are the one turning the key and opening the door. So although this opportunity may present itself to you, there is effort on your part required in order to walk through this door. And the moment you open this door, all I see is light and brightness, and it's never ending. It's just this vastness. Whatever this opportunity is, it's powerful. It is powerful. So I would love to hear how this is resonating with you and what you feel this may connect with in your particular life. For some of you, this is about love. It is about meeting the one, okay? Perhaps it's about meeting the one, and you're standing tall and proud, and you're not protecting yourself, and as a result of being open, you welcome love in, right? Okay, I think I know what it is. Whoa! Perseverance. I feel you are coming from a space of having felt discouraged, having been discouraged, either feeling discouraged, being discouraged, feeling like you didn't have what it takes, feeling like other people have it, but things always go bad for you. That's where I feel you are coming from. But that is not where you're going to end up. Okay? Number 2 and 8 signifies endings. As a matter of fact, 10s signify completions. So to me, completion is different than an ending. You can end a relationship, but it doesn't mean you're done. You're still maybe lingering in that energy. Completion to me means cutting cords, closing door on karma, releasing old baggage, saying goodbye, no more, thank you very much, my past, no longer interested in repeating you again. That is what I'm feeling for you. Now, I'm obviously drawn to the ring here. And this green, I don't know why I want to say peridot. Maybe you have a peridot ring, maybe greenstone, yes, but peridot for some reason. Peridot may be somehow significant to you, perhaps. I don't know which month peridot stone connects to as far as zodiac sign, but maybe that's significant to you. But green, to me, is about healing your heart. And many of you have had relationships that were not sustainable. You couldn't be yourself in them. And obviously, if you're in a relationship where you cannot be yourself, then inevitably you are the one that suffers. I feel if this is the case for you, if you've been in relationships where you felt discouraged, maybe you felt discouraged to be yourself. Maybe in the past when you were growing up, you got the message that being yourself is bad, and as a result of that, you basically tried to become somebody else. Well, trying to become somebody else, it's like being horse pretending to be a cat. I don't care how much you pretend that you're a cat. If you're a freaking horse, you're not a cat. That's just a metaphor that came to me, okay? So these two messages, very powerful. Also, I want to say this to you. It's time to start speaking your own voice. It's time to start speaking your own truth. It's time to no longer hide behind others. You are so much more than you gave yourself credit to, and maybe others have not given you credit. I understand where that comes from, been there myself, but you are so much more than that. So if this is you, I would really encourage you to stand up for yourself and claim back yourself. Claim yourself back. Come back to yourself. And to come back to yourself means that at some point you've lost yourself. Who did you lose yourself to? What did you lose yourself to? There's always a story behind that, right? So I love this for you. There's a lot of healing of the heart here and just showing up, even being vulnerable and just being okay with being you and not hiding so much behind whatever it is that we hide behind. And sometimes we hide behind other people, okay? So that's what I have for you. Pile number 2, completions, ending of karma, letting go of old limiting patterns. Yay! Beautiful. Okay. Let's see what we're going to get for pile number 3. Pile number 3, you are in the process of freeing yourself. You have been under lock and key. You have been under lock and key. Can I have a bit of a different take on that, please? You have been locked up. You have been in hiding. You have been either in your own prison or worse yet, in somebody else's prison. prisons, as we know, are not fun. Prisons are designed to limit our freedom. You have lived a life with limited freedom. And I'm not going to over-explain what does that mean. I think everyone has their own explanation. We all live in a free world, but then we have some limitations, right? In order for the world there to be order, there has to be some limits and rules and boundaries and limitations. I'm not talking about that. I'm more talking about the confinements of your own mind, the limits created by your own mind. However, these limits are mostly something that have been created for you, and then they became your limits. And someone is helping you free yourself. This is an outside source. Someone is giving you a helping hand to free yourself from your own prison. Perhaps someone is bailing you out, literally speaking, the 3D version. Perhaps someone is bailing you out. Obviously, that's not going to be for most of you. Maybe it's just the one person. Whoever this person is that is helping you unlock the door of your own prison is someone very significant to you. This is a live person. It's a 3D human form, a live person. Yes, it could be spirit, but that's not what I'm getting. Spirit, yes, but on top of that, this is a live person. This could be a counselor. This could be a trusted friend. Although this to me feels like a professional. It feels like this person knows what they're doing. They know exactly what to do in order to help you free yourself from your own internal prison. And I feel like you've been waiting for this for a long time. And for some reason, especially in the month of May for some of you, for some reason, this is your time. Your time has come where life is going to present to you with opportunity or opportunities and give you a helping hand through somebody else as a physical being. The universe is going to put someone in front of you who's going to give you a helping hand and help you free yourself from your own prison. Here's what I want to tell you. If you've been living in a mental prison for a long time, and of course you want to have more freedom, because who doesn't? But if you have been living in a mental prison all your life, and now you start to experience freedom, at first it takes some getting used to. Because as confining as prisons are, they feel strangely safe. We know what to expect. We know what's going to happen. We know the four walls, they never change. We can depend on that. It literally acts as our support. We know what to expect. Your newfound freedom may not feel that way for a while because you're not used to it. So this is what comes up for you, pile number 3. And I believe this was a message that came up last week, but it was for a different pile. We have the Fool. Okay. So the Fool is all about brand new energy and releasing yourself from the past and shedding some old baggage. Okay. It does show up in reverse. So what this is saying to me is that there is a new energy, newness, the new day as the rooster represents. However, there's some caution with this that is being talked about. I actually want to say the words, don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. It doesn't mean don't trust anybody, but I also want to say don't trust everybody. I just want to say don't be a fool. And I don't know how this is going to play out for some of you, but this is a very strange message here. With this new beginning, with this newness, there's obviously a brand new beginning for you. There may be someone, hopefully not too many someones, but there may be someone who will want to take advantage of you, who will want to, I'm almost reluctant to say the word deceive you, but that really is the energy that I'm feeling. So before you make any drastic long-term commitments, I want to say ask for a second opinion. Okay? And I don't feel this message is connected to the message before where I was talking about somebody lending you a helping hand. I don't feel if it's a counselor or somebody like that that they're going to deceive you. That's a separate message. This is something separate. This is a message where you are in a brand new beginning energy. There's a lot of newness. There's a lot of moving pieces, and you're not sure where to step, what pieces to step on, which piece is going to take you where. And there may be some people that may want to take advantage of you, especially financially, okay? Obviously, that's not going to be for everybody. I hope it's for nobody, but this is coming up. So what I want to say is this. Don't have blinders on your eyes. Ask questions. If you don't understand, ask it again. And then ask for a second opinion or ask for clarification if you're not understanding. Especially if there is something that you need to sign for, okay? Because I see a potential you signing so quickly and you are so excited, and then down the road you go, what the heck did I just do? And that's because you were not paying attention, and somebody unfortunately took advantage of that. So this is a bit of a warning. I don't get these messages very often, but I will always give you what I receive. I am not about just giving you cotton candies. I don't believe in that. I would rather that you be prepared than be disappointed. So if I can spare you a disappointment by having you remember this the next time you're signing something significant or you putting yourself into some pretty serious, hefty situation, like significant situation, if I can spare you any headache, then I would rather do that than just say, oh, everything is going to be fine, okay? Before you sign on a dotted line, read the final print. For some of you, it has to do with mortgage documents. There wouldn't be anything hidden in mortgage documents, but for some of you, it's to make sure that everything is as it should be, as it has been discussed before you make the signature, before you put your signature on the dotted line, okay? Now I'm seeing the number 29, so you might be signing something on the 29th of May, June, July. The 29th is somehow very significant. There's a star in it around it for me, so it's significant. The number 29, somehow the number 29 is important. Or maybe the number 29 you already connect with, okay? So that's an interesting message for pile number 3. Now I'm going to use these cards. Again, there's a link down below if you would like to know what these cards are, or if you'd like to, just if you're interested, can you give me a little bit more information what this new beginning is about? Okay. We have 2 cards. One is called Building Blocks. The other one is Chop Wood. They both showed up in reverse position, or in protection position, as Colette calls it. Okay. So I'm going to talk about Chop Wood first. Chop Wood is about cleaning up. Okay. Because it's coming up in this position, it's time to get rid of old fluff. Let me just see if I can get something a little bit more. There is something that you need to take care of, but it's like you're stagnating. It's like stagnating is not the right word. You are procrastinating. There's something you need to clear. There's something you need to take care of. There's something you need to clean up, but you're procrastinating. You are being urged to not procrastinate in taking care of something that you need to take care of, and you already know what it is. You already know it. It's you can feel it. As a matter of fact, when I'm talking about it, you're like, oh God, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to deal with it. Whatever it is that you don't want to deal with, it's important that you deal with it. Okay? The more reluctant you are to deal with it, the more you are needing to deal with it. And you're reluctant to deal with it because it's uncomfortable. For whatever reason, you have to face yourself, you have to face somebody, you have to face a situation, a boss, for example, conflict. Most people don't like conflicts, myself included. Whatever this is, you need to face it. When you face it, you're going to start a brand new beginning. You're going to create yourself a new beginning. So there's something here that you're not wanting to face, but you need to face in order to get rid of it and start fresh. Okay, so that's one message. The second message is about building blocks. Also came up in reverse, or protection. So this is about your foundation. Your foundation is made up of beliefs. There are certain pieces in your foundation that are not allowing you to feel whole, okay, wholeness. And those are the dark places in our mind. Those are the shadows that we attach ourselves to. Those are the insecurities that we carry. Those are the baggage that we bring forth from our past experiences. And whatever these shadow aspects are for you, they are not allowing you to be the best you can be. And because you have a brand new beginning, also showed up in reverse. Okay, so pile number 3, you've got a lot of reversal. There's a lot of you're not wanting to face something. It's like, I can feel that there's this reluctance of, I don't want to do it. Let me put it this way to you. If you know you need to deal with something and you're like, I'm not dealing with this, ask yourself, why not? What is it? What is it about this particular thing, situation, person, problem that you don't want to deal with? Is it because you don't know how? Is it because you don't have the tools? Is it because you lack the confidence? Is it because you're afraid to face it? If you're afraid to face it, why? What's the biggest thing that could happen? When you allow yourself to go through these scenarios in your mind, once you go through these in your mind, once the mind gets its fix, it tends to be a little bit easier. In addition, ask for help. Get someone to help you deal with whatever this is. For some of you, you need to deal with self-sabotage, okay? You're very good at self-sabotaging, at sabotaging whatever it is that you want. Why do we self-sabotage? One of the biggest reasons why we self-sabotage is we don't believe we can have what we want. We don't believe that we are worthy. We don't believe that we are deserving. And pretty much anything along those lines, which would be very much the building blocks that are part of your foundation, that are the shadows that are not allowing you to be the best that you can be and to live your life to the full potential, to your full potential. Okay? So if this is speaking to you, if you are surrounded by newness and brand new energy, if life is saying to you, okay, there's a lot of new things that could be happening here, what do you want? But you are not dealing with your, may I say, crap, internal crap, then I want to say these words to you. Don't be a fool. Don't let the discomfort of dealing whatever it is that you deal with, you need to deal with, prevent you from experiencing more out of your life. Okay? What I get for pile number 3, there's a lot of resistance, a lot of resistance. So there's a few messages that came through. Don't be a fool. Make sure that somebody doesn't take advantage of you. If you are someone who feels unworthy, if you are someone who is not confident, you can fall prey easier to people who could take advantage of you. Okay? Ask for help. Do yourself a favor, ask for help, and let someone help you get out of whatever this is, whatever the situation is, whatever your own internal situation is. Okay? I'm going to pull one more card for you, because I feel it's very important. I feel like I need to get, oh my goodness. So what I got is hive mind. It's about unity. It came to me in reverse position. So what this is saying to me is you feel like an outsider. Why do you feel like an outsider? Have you always felt like an outsider? And if you feel like an outsider, but you are completely okay with it, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about feeling like an outsider where you feel like you are not a part of something greater. And that leads to isolation. That leads to feeling closed off and not being as open. And remember, if we are closed off and not open, life cannot force itself on you. Life can only give you what you are open to receiving, okay? So that's one thing that may resonate with some of you. Saving humanity. You might be someone who thinks that you're here to save the world. Okay, I'm putting that in quotation marks because that's what I wanted to do. Saving the world. You're here to save the world. You can't save the world single-handedly. However, what you can do is you can start with you. You can start with, quote-unquote, saving yourself. Do you have a tendency to want to save people? Are you falling a prey to people who take advantage of your generosity because you have the need to save people? When we have the need to save people and it comes from an unbalanced state, it's generally coming from a space of internal lack. And our need for saving others stems from not feeling enough. So saving others feeds our value. here's what I want you to know. You are of value without saving others. Now, I'm not talking about you being a paramedic or a doctor. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you're constantly surrounding yourself with people who need you to save them, of course, I'm not talking about paramedics or things like that. I'm not talking about professions. That's not what I mean. But if you've got friends, family members, and they're always coming to you to save their butt, you want to ask yourself this question: why do I draw these people to me? What's in it for me? Does it make you feel good when you save them? And chances are, you probably don't end up saving them anyway. Because the only way a person can be saved is when they can save themselves. Again, I'm not talking about surgeries or health or anything like that. I think you guys know what I mean. So if you have this thing about you're here to save the world, first look at yourself and see what internally within you needs to be addressed within you. Okay? And that's how I'm going to leave it. Because I think I covered what I wanted to say in here. Okay? But you're a giver, and you are probably overgiver. So anytime we overdo something, it's because we are overcompensating for something that we feel we are lacking inside. So I just want you to kind of notice if that makes any sense to you. Okay? That's all I have for you. Again, if you would like to hear from me every Monday morning or thereabouts with a message for the week that will only come to you from me through your email, it will not be seen anywhere else on any of the social media outlets or platforms, please sign up for my newsletter, joannathehealer.com. If you have already downloaded the free transformational tools, you will automatically be subscribed to the newsletter. I wish you a wonderful week. I hope you have fantastic next few months, although I'll be seeing you soon. And I would love to hear your comments. Let me know how these messages resonated with you and if they made any sense. And until next time, I hope you are doing wonderful, and I look forward to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.